I'm Chief Cheryl Victorian. This is Waco PD on the beat. Whether it's crime or just getting to know the Waco Police Department, we're here to talk about things that matter most to you.
Hello, Waco, and welcome to Waco PD on the beat. I'm Sierra Shipley, your Public Information Officer.
I'm Officer A.J. Smith, the Crime Stoppers Coordinator for McLennan County.
And we're here to talk about dispatch. We've had our dispatch supervisor on before I said her title wrong. It's much more important. I mean, she's like the main coordinator. What is it? Dispatch?
Emergency Communications 911 Manager.
See, that title is so long. She is the supervisor to the supervisors in dispatch, basically.
That is correct.
And we also have a dispatch. You are a supervisor, right?
Yes, the less superior.
Okay.
Position.
So Susie
The
is
one that
your
reports to her.
the one that reports to her. Perfect. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves and talk about just how long you've been here at the department?
Tyler Duske. I've been here for 5 years. I'm currently the dispatch training coordinator, and I handle a lot of the training documents, data, information, and do processing that make sure that we're staying in compliance and constantly continue our education.
Very good. And Susie?
I'm Susie Murray, and I'm the Emergency Communications and 911 Manager. I have been here just a year now.
That's right. You hit
Right
your
after
year
you got
mark.
here. Yeah.
Very good. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And we're here, like I said, to talk about dispatch, which we have before, but we've got a lot more exciting stuff to talk about regarding dispatch because since we've last spoken to you. So talk a little bit about, we are hiring.
We are
11 positions, right?
11.
And full-time.
Full-time.
Perfect. And so since we've spoke, that pay raise has kind of gone up, right, for those dispatchers?
Yes.
So talk about that.
So in November, the city raised the minimum pay for dispatch if you have at least 1 year of customer service experience. And so it went from $16.31 to $20 an hour.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I'm sure even the current dispatchers we had were very grateful for that one.
Yes.
Did you say 20 or 30?
20.
Okay.
20.
My brain heard 30, and I'm like, hold up. I don't want to get their hopes up.
He says,
I want that pay.
wait a minute. Yes, $20 an hour, $20 an hour, which is still from 16 to 20. I mean,
Yes.
that's great. That's great. And that's something that I'm sure is very appreciative by, like I said, all those dispatchers that are currently there, especially for the work that they've been putting in.
Yes, it has been nonstop. Because of the shortage and having 11 positions open, there's so much overtime that our staff is having to work just to keep up with the constant day-to-day operations. I mean, we're responsible for the bulk of the county when it comes to emergency communications and 911. So it's been a lot.
That's 24 hours a day. Someone or multiple people have to be there, and sometimes you guys are running like. I've gone up there, and like today I was up there, brought the junior police academy, and I was like, there's like 4 people in here, and it's during the day.
Yes.
Like they're hurting bad, it looks like. So.
Mm-hmm. Which is why we need you guys who are listening to apply.
Yes.
And talk about some of the qualifications that maybe someone should have or be ready to kind of show if they are applying for the job or want to.
So someone who has some customer service experience would be great because you get to come in at the $20 an hour. If you don't have a year's worth of customer service experience, you will come in at $18 an hour. But so in addition to the increase in pay by having the experience, it can kind of prepare you for dealing with people because essentially that is what we're doing all day. Whether it's on the phone or on the radio with officers, we're dealing with people. So having that kind of background could help patients because there's a training process and it's lengthy. So you won't come in on day 1 and by day 30 you're trained to do the job fully. So there's a lengthy training process. We're dealing with people who are in emergencies, so patience, understanding, Patience. Did I say that one already?
Maybe. Say it one more time.
Patience.
Perfect.
Patience.
That's only preferred.
Got it. That must be
Patience
why I'm not
is a
a
virtue,
911
and it's important
dispatcher.
for you guys too, I guess, huh?
Yes.
Because I bet
Patience
you never
is-
have officers call and ask you stupid questions.
No,
Like,
never.
Like, there's not this random dude in the office that decides to work the streets and then calls like 30 times the one time he's on a shift and recognizes the voice every time.
That never happens once,
Yeah.
twice a week.
Nobody in this room would do that.
Never.
Is that you?
I may have called and spoken to Tyler like 14 times the other day when I staffed.
Oof. Come on, man.
You may have, hopefully you didn't recognize the voice, but I definitely recognized yours.
Oh, no, I recognize your voice.
He's like, I knew it was you. I knew it was
Yeah.
you. Oh my goodness. Well, and so lengthy training process. And Tyler, you said you help with that training. When people come in, are they kind of shocked at how the training process really is? I mean, we're not really just answering phones.
Yeah, that's actually been kind of a interesting thing to encounter, is that there's a lot of people that come in and, their perception is based off what they see on TV, unless they're, experienced in dispatching field or law enforcement field, then they kind of know what it is. But if you don't have that benefit of having that experience, then all you're subjected to is what you see on TV, movies. And I hate to break it to you, but it's a little off, just a smidge.
Just a smidge.
And you can't see it, but my fingers are really far apart right now. But the process is super important. Getting in, training on call taking is basically the foundation of everything that you're going to learn throughout your entire career here as a dispatcher. And learning how to talk to people effectively, not just at people, but you have to learn how to take a situation that is out of control and in a matter of a minute or two, bring it down to a level to where you can actually get information from your caller that's hysterical. This is the worst day of their life. Being able to do that takes a lot of skill, and we've been fortunate enough to have a staff that's capable of training from someone that's got zero experience. And in a matter of 4 to 5, 6 weeks sometimes, they're able to do that. And that's pretty impressive in my opinion. I don't really realize it until it's at the end that you have a fully operational person
Right.
that's able to help save lives in a matter of just a few weeks.
Yeah.
And that 4 to 6 weeks is just for one component of
Yes.
what they're training on, one workstation. So
Right.
it's not even all of the areas of dispatch, but we're looking at 4 to 6 weeks just for one single function that you will be able to work.
Right. So that was kind of my next question, is how many different stations or functions are dispatchers needing to learn when they come on?
5.
5.
Five.
Okay.
What's the lengthiest component of that?
I would say that would vary depending on the person,
Okay.
their skill set and their knowledge. Because if you have someone that's familiar with, let's just say the sheriff's office radio. So anyone who works that radio, there's multiple things that they have to learn in order to effectively work that station. So when they clear that station, they can effectively work it. It makes them a good candidate to work, say, Channel C for Waco, because a lot of what they have to do for the sheriff's office translates well over to this other channel. So if you're talking about people who are already in-house, depending on what they've already trained on and are good at, it makes them a good candidate for other ones.
Yeah, it does help once you start getting through the process. The more stations you clear, the easier the next one becomes.
Right.
So being able to do Channel A, which is our primary Waco channel that our officers get calls for service on and check out on traffic stops, that's where all that's happening at. Once you get that done, it can make learning the backup channel for Waco that much easier.
Sure.
It just goes hand in hand, really helps out.
The Waco Police Department Crime-Free Housing Program is designed to build a partnership between police and owners or managers of rental properties to keep drugs and other illegal activity off property.
This program calls on management to make steps toward providing a clean and safe living environment for the citizens of Waco. by asking them to spend a little time and a little money to benefit their residents. This will also benefit the property managers as well.
For more information on the crime-free housing program, visit the Waco Police Department website at wacopolice.com. How interesting is it to maybe see, because you probably forgot your initial shock factor coming in, or maybe you haven't, but how interesting is it to see every time that new person comes in, they're like, this is what it's like?
It's definitely humbling to be able to see that again, because living the day-to-day, you just kind of forget after doing it for so long. You know, this was shocking at one point. It's easier now, but back then it was, I don't know if I'm able to do this. I don't know if I'm cut out for this. You know, those questions of doubt flow through your mind. But having a supportive leadership, a supportive peer system, and being able to reach out and ask those for help that are capable, that have been through that, it makes it that much easier. And so it's a real honor to actually be in that position now, especially in a form of leadership, to where I can actually reach out and help those go through those problems and be able to kind of get things off their chest and overall make them a better person, dispatcher.
Right, right. How important is it, Susie, to make sure that, you know, everyone on that dispatch team is okay, basically? I mean, there's a lot that you guys have to deal with, are listening to, are trying to help someone. And then not only that, but just the hours alone. You're working long. It's not a normal 8-hour shift. We don't get an hour lunch break. So how important is it to make sure that your team is just simply doing okay?
I mean, that's one of the most important aspects of my job as the leader of that unit, is making sure that they're okay. That's why you'll catch me sometimes in there working and helping take calls, just trying to take off some of the pressure. I can't relieve it all, but just doing my part to help however that I can in that respect. Mental health is very important. And so we are constantly dealing with people that are at their worst. And so in order for them to get the help that they need, the people behind the scenes helping them have to get help too. And
Sure.
So, hey, how are you? How are you feeling? How was that call? Do you need a break? And us doing what we can, not just me, the supervisors that are in dispatch, and them doing it for each other. Those teams, they work well together. And a lot of times they can sense amongst each other when something's not right, or if someone needs an extra break, that kind of thing, and they're that support for each other.
Yeah.
So they take care of each other well, and we all do our part and what we can to keep things light when we can, and whether it's having lunch together. We really don't get a lunch, but it could be that someone volunteers to order pizza for everyone, or a shift gets together and do a potluck, and that kind of thing. Just those small little things to just kind of bridge.
Right, right. I was going to say that, the only other employee that I can think of that closely relates to a dispatch as far as time and effort that goes into the job would be kind of like a patrol officer. They work just as long hours. They don't get a lunch break themselves, and they're dealing with, those calls in person where you guys are dealing with the calls over the phone. But I got to say, I think dispatch with those potlucks, I'll come up there every once in a while and I'm like, I didn't bring a meat. I didn't bring anything. I'm just going to smell and leave, okay?
We are having a little something tomorrow on evening shift.
Okay, I will make sure to bring something so I can partake.
What sides do you need?
We have chips covered, so anything else that you can think of.
Okay.
Bring marshmallows.
Marshmallows, perfect.
Okay.
The one thing I want to touch on what Susie said, we really do have not only a team dynamic, but we do have a real, it's kind of like a family. As you said earlier, we don't work no hours. We work sometimes 12, 10 hours, 14 hours, 16, it's not uncommon for it to happen. But being together so long, you develop a bond with each other and become family. And so you're able to see those signs that someone's not okay and be able to reach out to them when needed and just make sure that they're okay.
Right, right. And someone listening, go ahead.
I was just going to say something else that I've noticed. I don't know if you guys have always done this and I just haven't paid attention to the last year or until the last year, but it seems like you guys are very good about like morale. Like there's stuff decorated down the hall every month, like whatever the season or occasion or whatever like obscure holiday there might possibly be, or
Thank you, Rebecca and David.
Yes, they do an amazing job. I will say that today I got really dizzy walking quickly because everything was shiny and colorful, and that was just a lot for my brain to process. But like, it's so cool that you guys have that to kind of like, okay, we're on the 9th floor, we're going to work, it's gonna be awesome. Like it may suck, but it's gonna be awesome. So I feel like that family component, you guys looking out for each other, doing the potlucks, the decorations, all these little morale boosts, just like, I mean, it helps me, and I don't even work on that floor, so it's cool.
Well, and I have to say,
get to
so
see.
all those sparkly funness that you were talking about, that's lining the halls up there on the 9th floor, is from 911 Telecommunicators Appreciation Week. I believe that's when they decorated that whole thing, because it's
I
all
think
the gold.
You haven't been up there
Yeah,
today.
it's changed.
It's different?
Yeah. That's why I'm saying, like, so the gold was there for that, correct?
Okay, don't
Yes.
spoil the surprise.
Okay,
I'm going to go
so
up there soon.
Just don't walk fast because you will get dizzy. Like, I'm serious.
I can't wait.
I'm colorblind, and it threw me for a trip.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Well, what I was going to say to all that, connecting my reasoning, was we had posted on Facebook, highlighting the different dispatchers up there. And I've got to say, it's always a hit or miss from the community, right? Whether or not, here's what I'm going to post, and maybe it might get a lot of reactions and maybe not get too much. I was so impressed with how many likes and comments and shares those posts got highlighting our dispatchers. I thought it was awesome just to see how appreciative the community was, because you guys as dispatchers don't get a whole lot of thank yous and appreciation because we don't see you. You know,
Right.
we hear you, and someone who's having their worst day might not remember to thank you on the phone before they hang up, but before the officer gets there. But it's something that was really nice to see from the community. I'm sure you guys appreciated that as well, to see that on Facebook.
Absolutely. Those little thank yous and those comments and those likes, they go a long way.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk about people who might want to apply, the hours that they're going to work, and we don't want to scare them either, but it is mandatory overtime. It's not a thing where, you're not going to get paid for that. You will.
Yes, you will get paid. You will.
There are certain laws that require that.
But just to clear that up in case anyone was wondering.
Yes, you will be paid. We have 3 shifts. Morning shift, which is the 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. 2:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. is the evening shift, and then there's nights for midnights, and that's the 10:30 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. So 24/7, 365 weekends, holidays, you name it, we're here.
Right. And that's important for people to know, too, because I think sometimes they forget when they apply for a job like that they're not necessarily going to be home for those holidays.
Right. If you look up and that holiday falls on your off day, then you have that holiday off. Otherwise,
Thank you for your service.
One of those
Right.
potlucks.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
it just shows that someone always needs our help.
It does. Our dispatchers, they're missing their family functions. They're missing birthdays and Christmas and Thanksgiving. They're missing out on a lot of that, and because of staffing right now, the ability to take off for extended periods is not there right now. So we need the community or the people who are interested in doing this job to apply and be able to get through our lengthy process in order to get trained up to perform the duties that are needed for this job, so that we can eventually get back to having extended time off, and all of that, because it's needed.
Right, right. I know, like we've been talking about this and how you guys have been struggling up there, but it's not going to be a struggle if people apply. So it wouldn't be like that for you guys that apply, obviously.
You and your friends apply, and then you guys can both work together, have a potluck together,
Yes.
and I will bring marshmallows. Thank you. I'll put that in my phone so I don't forget now. And then it helps everybody. Like,
Right. Helps the
all around.
officers, the community, you guys. That is just overall, you're going to be helping so many. How old do you have to be a dispatcher?
18
18. Okay, so there you
with
go.
a high school diploma or an equivalent.
Okay, very good. So that's even better if maybe you do have a interest in maybe being in law enforcement, being an officer later in life.
yeah, because you can't be an officer till you're 21.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Right.
start that
Good
now.
experience.
Listen, 18-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
It's so important to start that retirement early.
Yes.
And it's the city, whatever it is, retirement. Like, that's the same thing citywide.
Yes, the
Mhm.
TMRS.
Yeah, TMRS.
Mhm.
Thank you. So that's
Yes,
Yeah.
we watched that
that's a
one.
pretty good retirement. Do what?
We watched those numbers.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially, you said 5 years for you, right?
Yep.
So this is 5 years for me, so I'm about to watch my numbers.
Hey,
Yeah, they're about to
There
be
you
nice.
go.
I have 16.
See.
Show off.
So your magic's already happened.
Darn it, I cannot say anything. I
Now
am
she- now
still
she-
under a
yeah.
year. I am still under a year.
Although, I think I just came up with the perfect solution to help let all the dispatchers have some time off. I've never watched The Purge,
Oh gosh.
so I'm sorry if. But
Absolutely
here,
not.
hear me out. That face you're
Absolutely
giving me
not.
right now.
You said you've
But,
never
like-
watched The Purge. You should not finish your sentence.
Yeah,
So-
let's be very,
But I
very
think I
careful.
understand the principle of the movie. The opposite of it,
Oh,
where everybody goes and like plants a tree or does something good to help, gives you guys a day off, gives us a day off.
nice save.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that.
See,
Yeah,
That's-
that
I had
was-
you in the beginning,
you had,
but if
really
you'd let me
did.
finish,
had me in the first half. Not gonna lie.
yeah.
Okay, so a day where everyone must plant a tree.
But
I like
take it more seriously than Arbor Day.
Oh,
that. Yeah. Darn it, we already have a day where we plant trees.
Start
Please
working
don't
on that,
joke.
AJ.
Okay,
We'll work on it.
that'll be the next initiative for community outreach.
I like it.
Look at you.
I like
Yeah.
it. I like it. Well, Tyler, what would you say to someone? How would you convince them to apply to be a dispatcher?
So, if you are a person that enjoys helping people, then this is a good place to do it. If you're a person that wants to become a law enforcement officer, whether that be local police department, the Waco Police Department, federal, state, whatever it may be, whatever level, dispatch experience goes a long way, and our department is a real good shining example of what can happen if you apply yourself in dispatch, through patrol, through the ranks. We've got rookies of the year that came from dispatch. We have people on SWAT that came from dispatch, people that are reaching out on their off time to the community that came from dispatch, commanders, sergeants, detectives, you name it, we've got it. And it's just going to grow from there. And it's, I'm not going to brag, but I mean, there's a common denominator there, and it's dispatch. So
There
the
you
key
go.
to success, dispatch.
Okay.
You said it.
And if you don't want to talk about it, she can totally cut this out. But knowing your background and where you are now, like, is that something that you want to talk about and kind of like say why, like how you got started and where you are now in relation to where your end goal was?
Yeah, I don't mind talking about that at all. So some people are probably going to give me a stink eye for this one. I originally wanted to be a firefighter.
Oh,
yeah.
you
No
looked
judgment.
at her.
I'm cutting this out.
Yeah, we're going to have to cut that one out.
Yeah. This is a police podcast. Let me remind you. Take two.
My apologies. Okay.
So you wanted to be a firefighter.
Sorry, I always wanted to be a police officer. No, I initially wanted to be a firefighter. I grew up in a firefighting household, and so first responding was just a thing. Middle of the night, jump out of bed, and just take off to the fire station.
I thought that was second responding.
Boom, roasted.
Over the fire that we're waiting on fire to come put out.
Yeah. Scene is secure. But eventually, shortly after I graduated high school, I realized that I I didn't want to firefight anymore. And at the time, I had just recently got married, or engaged actually, in high school, and we just graduated. And I was talking to my wife one day, or now wife, then fiance, and I told her, I never told anybody else this, that when I was in second grade, I wanted to be a police officer, but I didn't think I could be one because I saw police officers as heroes, and I didn't think I could be a hero. And she kind of turned my mindset around on that, and she's like, you can definitely be a hero if you put your mind to it and you feel led to do that. And I, from that point, was like, all right, that's what I'm going to do. It's that simple. And so from there, I took the initiative. I applied here and only here. Like, I wanted to be here. I had initially sent out emails to Chief Stroman at the time. And I was like, do you have any cadet positions? It's like, I had missed the memo that there was no longer cadet programs. And so he's like, no, but we have civilian positions, animal control, and dispatch. I was like, dispatch sounds like fun. That'd be a good foot in the door. And so I initially started at 18 years old and had the plans and stuck to my guns all the way to 21. And then I applied. I needed some more life experience. As you can imagine, a young 21-year-old doesn't have much. So I knew how to deal with people over the phone, but I never dealt with them face-to-face. So I went into sales, and I eventually came back to follow my passion because I saw the police cars running around, and I missed being nosy and figuring out what's going on. So I came back, and a year later, after I came back, I became a supervisor and then a training coordinator, and I'm really happy where I am right now. I intend on making a career out of this.
Yeah.
There may be some point down the road, if you're familiar with the show The Rookie, that may be me one day. Who knows?
Never know.
hitting it at the buzzer at the age requirement. But, yeah, I really love what I do, and I just look forward in growing in this aspect of my career.
Nice.
That's awesome. And first of all, complete chills. I got chills when you were like, I want to be a hero. And I have to say that dispatchers, total heroes. Absolutely. They can de-escalate situations way before the officers get there.
Absolutely.
And help people in so many ways that they might not even realize, because like you said, they're right over the phone. So they may sound a bit more calm, but the way they feel inside is completely different. So I would say, Tyler, you're a hero.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, which is why it baffled me that it wasn't until like 2 years ago, or was it even 2 years ago, that dispatchers got labeled as first responders officially?
It was 2019.
Okay, so it's
September
been more
1st,
than 2 years.
2019.
Yeah.
But still, like, I would say you guys are more first responders than any of the other first responders, because they got to call you before we can even know that there's an issue. So
I would say that you're correct.
yeah.
My wife calls us the zero responders, and I kind of look at her. I'm like, is that an insult or is this a compliment? What are we doing here?
I can't tell if you're like zero. I like
Zero,
it. Hero. I
Okay,
like
yeah.
it. That makes sense, right? You connect the two.
Hercules kind
From
of.
zero to hero by the end of the phone call.
You know what? They're always heroes to me. That's what I'm going to say.
Thanks,
I
Sierra.
feel like
You're
that's a
welcome.
term of endearment, though. If his wife said it, it was lovingly said.
That's very true,
Like,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, yeah, she didn't say it like sarcastic.
What
At
is
least I don't
zero?
think so.
Oh, Tyler's a zero. It was
Such a
probably not
zero.
said like that, right?
Yeah, no, she didn't say
Yeah.
it like that. She said it with sincerity.
That's
Yeah.
right. Well,
If you're listening,
Context.
now, if you want to apply, super easy.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to City of Waco website
Yes.
and really easy button,
Mhm.
jobs, work for us. And in that search bar, you just search 911 and it'll pop up right away. 911 telecommunicator is what the actual job title technically is.
Our Ride Along program is a great opportunity to get to know what it's like to be an officer for a day. By simply filling out an application, you can ride in a patrol car with an officer on duty to see what it's like to serve and protect your community. You cannot, however, ride if you have an active warrant.
The ride-along program is monitored based on COVID-19 cases. Currently, cases have been low enough to reopen this program, and we request that you ride along for a minimum of 2 hours, and rides are not available on Thursdays. But for additional guidelines on submitting a ride-along request, you can visit the Waco Police Department and ask for a ride-along form.
Yes.
So, guys, apply.
And this is something I guess I should ask before I keep telling people. Would you recommend this job to somebody going through school? Because every time I get someone that, no. I got two different head motions
if
here
you're
from you
online,
guys. Okay.
Yeah,
if you're taking classes online, yes.
I can speak from experience. I've been full-time, working overtime. I've done both online, hybrid, and in class. It is doable as long as you do not expect to have a life outside of those two things.
Fair enough.
Then it's very doable. But you will develop gray hairs, some frown lines, and a slight mild addiction to caffeine.
Okay.
I say slight and mild very sarcastically.
'Cause
Okay.
My cousin was a dispatcher. She worked the night shift. I think the second shift for you guys is about what her hours were. She went to class during the day. So to me, like, that's not
It is
that late.
doable.
That
It's
is
not
doable.
too early, but
But
It's really dependent on the person and how capable they are of maintaining a schedule, sticking to that schedule,
Sure.
and
okay.
Yeah,
it
I could
is
see.
doable,
I could
but-
see where it would be doable. I could see where it would be very tiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's people
Yeah.
that, I mean, I've seen someone put themselves through the police academy and work nights. Didn't really work out.
Man,
I mean, they made it through,
It's
but
tough,
it was very,
for
very
sure.
hard on them.
it is.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and we have the unexpected, expected overtime.
mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you're coming in for your 8-hour shift, and you could be told that you're mandated to stay over 4 hours,
Sure.
or you're having to come in early for 4 hours. So, it would be a challenge. So, if you can do them online, that would be the best way to do that. Doing classes in person, at least in the beginning. If it's later on where you've completed all of your training and now you're assigned to a shift, that will probably be more doable, because now you're either day shift or your evening shift or your night shift. But while you're still training, you're going to move around.
Okay.
You're going to definitely move around. So for a few months, you could be working evening shift, and then you could easily transfer to nights or day shift to have to finish out your training.
Right. I was going to ask if they have to kind of go through each shift, basically, kind of like our patrol officers do, where they work each shift as well.
So yes, you will move around, and we have that in the job description, in the job posting. You will see that bright red at the top where
red?
I think it's bolded too. It might be.
Well, you said you're colorblind, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it could be any color, and you would never know.
so you will see that there that
I'm sorry.
That one really
You
got
guys
you,
have-
didn't it?
You guys have been fun.
you will see it there written out that, hey, you will have to work various shifts. You will not pick your shift. So if you're coming in thinking that, hey, I'm going to be able to work day shift, or I'm going to be able to work this set shift,
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have that luxury.
Right.
no.
It's yeah. So
And we don't want to get your hopes up.
yeah, the
Right.
expectation up front is expect to be moved around to all the shifts, and if you look out and happen to end up on the shift at the time you need it, then that's just consider yourself lucky.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but at the end of the day, if you've got a passion to help people, if you've got a passion for your community and just an overall safe city, I mean, this definitely could be a job for you. So
Absolutely.
apply.
Yeah.
And one more thing, because I do want to point it out, dispatchers have to take a polygraph, right?
Yes.
Yes, and a psychological.
And a psychological. Okay, very good. Psychological test I have not taken. I've taken a polygraph, and I can say it's not that bad, y'all. Okay?
Just don't lie.
Just don't
And
lie.
you're
Like,
fine.
that's kind of what a polygraph, I mean, depending on what, you've done in the past, right?
Yeah.
You're
But
not going to be questioned about anything that you did not disclose in the
Exactly,
personal history statement. So
yeah, polygraphs are totally different than what people expect. It's really hard to explain, but as long as you don't lie and you disclose all that information in the beginning, you're going to be okay.
yes,
You know all the questions that are going to be covered beforehand. There's no surprise pop quiz or anything like that. It's just, here's what we're going to cover. Make sure you tell the truth. And then when you get there, make sure you tell the truth.
You know, the hardest part about my polygraph was the fact that he told me to lie on certain things.
Oh, man, that was so hard.
Yes. So I was told I was going to fail it if I did not lie when he wanted me to lie. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
It's,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, all I'm here to do today is tell the truth, sir. Well, I need you to lie so I can get a baseline.
whoa.
Okay. Your name is John Doe. No. Sir,
Lie.
Mr. Smith, if you do not lie, the next time I ask you the baseline question, you will be removed from the hiring process. Your name is William Smith.
Wait, is it?
Can I look at my birth certificate?
I'm Ron Burgundy.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Yeah,
question.
it's but yeah, just wanted to say, because I know a lot of people do get afraid of that polygraph and they are, you know, nervous about it, but it's not that hard.
right. And don't be intimidated by the personal history statement. Yes,
Just don't lie on it.
it's
Just
a
don't
thick
lie on it.
packet. It's a
Yeah.
lot of pages, but it's your information.
Right.
And if
You
you're
know the-
18, you really don't have that much
don't
of a
have that
history
much
at all. So it's
information. Yeah.
really easy to fill out,
That's very
Yeah.
true.
speaking from experience.
The amount of the whole, when I had to apply the 5 past jobs, I was like, oh my gosh, let me go back. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what, the
insane.
past 10 years?
Yes, past 10 years, how many, like, your jobs? And I don't know. Do I write babysitter? I don't know.
And then, like, where have you lived? So I moved, like, every 6 months. I, like, switched apartments, lived with friends, lived on this couch. So that was extremely difficult for me. I'm very jealous of you guys. This
Yeah,
whole-
so if you do
you're
apply
18,
when
don't
you're
have a
18,
history.
that packet, so easy. So easy.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, we are hiring.
Yes.
City of Waco website, you can apply, and we hope to see you.
Is there a maximum age? We've talked about the minimum age, but, like,
No, and if you check out our dispatchers that we have, I mean, we have everyone. We have someone that's young as 18 working, and we have someone who's been with the city for 35 years.
And we have a
longer than I've been
part-timer that's
alive.
been here for almost 40.
Wow.
Well, there you go.
So age, as long as you can
Age is
do
but
the
a number.
job and you have
So-
the speed and the accuracy to work the phones and work the computer. And then we're not talking a literal phone. We don't have you're not picking up like a old handset
Right.
kind of thing. Everything is computer based. So if you
Yeah.
can keep up,
I gotta
then-
say, dispatchers look really cool with the headset and they're all their phones and they like click the button to talk. Y'all look really cool.
We have pedals, too, for the radios.
Really?
Look at that.
Yeah, so we can just type, and our hands never have to go touch the mic button. We just click, and we can type as we're talking.
Y'all
and
are so
stuff.
Well, that's fancy. I always thought that was some really fancy elbow on the table move or something like that. Letting all the secrets out, man.
No. You know, fortunately, they don't have to learn that. It's not part of the training.
You just simply raise the heel of your foot onto the
Oh
desk.
my
and
gosh.
Yeah, get the heel up there.
Oof. Oof. No, thank
I
you.
wish we had cameras still.
Oh my. Well, if y'all don't have anything else to add or touch on before we wrap this up,
come apply.
yeah.
We're looking for good people, people with integrity, people with good attitudes, a good work ethic, people who want to work and make a difference in their community.
Very good, very good. Well, Susie, Tyler, thank you both so very much. We appreciate you
Of course.
coming on here. Waco PD on the beat.
on the beat
On the beat. I like that.
We need to get that on a button.
Yeah.
this summer. I've always wanted to do that.
That's perfect. I'm leaving that in there, by the way. Well, thank you guys so much. I'm Sierra Shipley, the Public Information Officer.
And I'm Officer AJ Smith, the Crime Stoppers Coordinator for McLennan County.
Have a good one, Waco.
Until next time.
Waco PD on the beat. The heartbeat serving